So now what we got to do is we got to write x equals 26, comma, y equals 4. We also can present our answer in words. What is x? X is the number of 50 rupee stamps. So number of 50 rupee stamps equals what? 26, comma. And what's y? Y is the number of 10 rupee stamps. And what is that equal to? 4. All right. So this is the way to use the method of substitution to solve a pair of simultaneous equations. Now, the next method that we are going to look at is method of elimination. The method of elimination. So let's go and see how to use method of elimination to solve the same pair of simultaneous equations. All right, so now what we're going to look at is how to solve the same pair of simultaneous equations using the method of elimination. So when we are to apply or when we are to employ the method of elimination, we got to do, the first check we got to do is we got to look at the coefficients. Okay, first let's look at the coefficients of x. What are the coefficients of x? In the blue color equation, what's the coefficient of x? That's 50. And in the orange equation, what's the x's coefficient? It is not to be seen. There's no number to be seen in front of x. But we know when there's no number to be seen in front of a letter, we got to consider the number as what? It's 1. So it's x means 1x. So in front of 1, it's 1. So what's the coefficients of x? 50 and 1. Now let's focus on y. What are the coefficients of y? That's 10. And what's y's coefficient in the orange equation? There's no number to be seen. When there's no number to be seen, what is it? It's 1. Right. So now we got x's and y's coefficients, but there is a problem. What's the problem? If we are to employ the method of elimination, what's the requirement? The requirement is at least one letter should have the same coefficient in both the equations. But here, look at x's coefficients. It's 50 and 1. And what's y's coefficients? 10 and 1. So none of the letters got the same coefficient. So which means the equations are not yet ready to go through the method of elimination. So what we got to do then? We got to change one of these equations so that at least one letter would have the same coefficient. So what's the plan? Can we change now? Now, when I said we have to change one of the equations, yes, you can change. When I say you can change, what I meant by that is you don't change the meaning. It's the same meaning, but you write using another set of numbers. How can that be done? That can be done by multiplying or dividing an equation by a particular number. Now, for an example, just to understand, let's say we have something like this. What's 2 plus 3? What's 2 plus 3? That's 5. All right. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply each of the terms of this equation by a particular number. Let's say I'm multiplying by 4. 2 times 4. Let's not put the equal sign. Let's see whether equal sign can come. 2 times 4, 3 times 4, 5 times 4. So 2 times 4, what does that give us? 8. And what's 3 times 4? 12. And what's 5 times 4? 20. Now what's 8 plus 12? 20, which means the equal sign is still valid. Equal sign can be used. All right. So what does that mean? When you multiply a particular equation by a certain number, still the equation sign will be valid. So that rationale can be used for the question what we are doing. What is it? Let's try to change excess coefficient, this orange excess coefficient to 50, or as this orange Y's coefficient to 10. How can we do it? Can we multiply? Yes, we can. Yeah. So what do we do? Shall we target on which data are we going to pick? Shall we try to change this orange Y to 10Y? How can that be done? We write equation 2. Equation 2 to be multiplied by what? We want Y to become 10Y. So Y times what becomes 10Y? That's Y times 10. All right, so let's write equation 2 now. X plus Y equals 30. And what do? We multiply Y by 10. All right. Now, when you simply multiply only Y by 10, you would hear someone yelling at you. Who would yell at you? The equal sign. Equal sign is say, hey, I cannot be there anymore. We ask why? Why can't you be anymore? Why do you want to go out? He says, you did something unfair. I can't be here anymore because this is not valid anymore. So then we ask, all right, so if we are to keep you here, if you are to continuously stay here in the middle, what should we do? He says, if you do something to one term, or if you multiply a term by 10, you got to multiply the rest of the terms also by the same number so that I can stay continuously. All right, so we want the equal sign to stay continuously over here. So we do what he asks us to do. So x times 10, 30 times 10. So what do we get now? X times 10 is 10x plus y times 10, 10y. And 30 times 10, 300. Now we have got an equation, but is it a fresh equation? No. It's just another way of writing equation 2. So x plus y equals 30 and 10x plus 10y equals 300. Both mean the same. So what we have got is we have got another way or another form of the second equation. But to avoid confusions, what do? We'll give a new label to this. Though it's not a fresh equation, to avoid confusions, let's give a number. Let's call this one as equation 3. All right. So now can we apply the method of elimination? Now look at the blue equation 1 and the black color equation 3. Do you see a letter with the same number or the same coefficient? Look at y. In the blue equation, what's y's coefficient? It's 10. And look at the equation 3. What's y's coefficient? 10, which means we can employ the method of elimination to solve the pair of simultaneous equations. But do we need the equation 2 anymore? No, it's not required. What we need is to continue. What we need is equation 1 and the new version or the new form of equation 2. That's equation 3. So what we need is equation 1 and 3. So let's write them one under the other. All right. All right. So now we have written the equation number 1 and 3, one under the other. So now when you get to solve a pair of simultaneous equations, and if you're intending to apply or use the method of elimination, before you start your workings, you got to answer two questions, or you got to ask two questions from you. What is it? The first thing is what to eliminate. What letter are you trying to eliminate? Now, what does eliminate mean here? You're trying to destroy one of the letters. We are going to make one of the letters disappeared. So how do you pick the letter that you are going to eliminate or destroy or make it disappeared? Look at the numbers in front of the letters. So look at the blue and the black X's. What are the numbers? 50 and 10. They got different numbers. Look at Y. In the first equation, what's in front of Y? It's 10. And in the third equation, in the black equation, what's in front of Y? That's 10. So remember, the letter with the same coefficient is the one to be eliminated. So what to eliminate? Our choice is Y. All right. Now, once you decide what to eliminate, the next question you should ask yourself is how to eliminate, how to eliminate, how to destroy, how to make it disappear. So to destroy Y, you have two options. You have to pick one of those. You can either add the two equations or subtract. Now, how do you decide whether the 1 and 3 equations should be added or subtracted? There's a rule you can remember. What is it? The rule is if it is same sign, if it's same sign, you subtract. And if it's different signs, you add. Now, what does this mean? What does it mean? Okay, let's look at what this rule means. Now, what's the letter you're trying to eliminate? The letter you're trying to eliminate is Y. And look at the signs of Y. In the first equation, in the blue equation, what's the sign of Y? It's plus. And in the black equation, what's the sign of Y? It's plus once again. So now, if you add the two equations, the blue and the black, plus 10Y, addition plus 10Y, what would that give you? Plus 20Y. Uh-oh, it's a problem. Why? Because, look, what's this method? What are you trying to do? You're trying to eliminate Y. But when you add the two equations, the Y doesn't get eliminated, but rather it gets stronger. It becomes 10 plus Y plus 10 plus 10Y addition plus 10Y. That would make plus 20Y. That's not what you want. You want Y to get eliminated. So, do you add? No. So that's what this rule says. So when it's same sign, you don't add, you subtract. Why? Because plus 10Y, subtract plus 10Y. What would happen? Let's see what's going to happen. So remember this rule. If the letter that you're supposed to eliminate has the same sign in both the equations, you subtract. Or if they have different signs, you add. All right? So here we got same sign, it's blue color plus and black color plus, same sign. So what are we going to do? We are going to subtract. So what do we write? Equation 1, subtract. Subtraction sign. Then comes equation 2 equals, you do the same thing in the right too. So equation 1, subtract. Subtract what? I should be writing equation not 2, it's equation 3 here, right? So equation 3, equation 1, subtract equation 3 equals, you got to do the same thing in the right hand side too. So equation 1 minus equation 3. Now, I prefer this way of writing this, what we are going to do, but some of you all would have different practices. That's all right. Okay. So what's equation 1? What's equation 1? That's the blue equation. 50x plus 10y. You got to subtract. With the subtraction sign, then comes equation 3, the black one. 10x plus 10y. All good? No, there is a problem here. What's the problem? The problem is with the way I've written. If I simply write in this way, only 10x gets subtracted from the blue equation. But that's not the requirement. The entire equation 3 has to get subtracted. So how do you make sure that happens? You got to write the equation 3, the black equation, within brackets. Equals, what's equation 1? Once again, now it's the right hand side. What's the equation 1 right hand side? 1340. Subtract. What's the black equation's right hand side? That's 300. All right, so now let's remove the brackets. So 50x plus 10y minus times 10x. What would that give you? That would give you minus 10x. Minus into plus. What is minus into plus? That's minus 10y equals 1340 minus 300. And what would that give to you? That would give you 1040. All right, so now is the time to make the like terms interact. So 50x would interact with whom? Who's the like term for 50x? That's minus 10x. So what is 50x minus 10x? That's going to be 40x. All right, now the y's. Plus 10y would interact with minus 10y. What's plus 10y minus 10y? Plus 10 and minus 10, are they friends? No, right? They're enemies. So plus 10 and minus 10, if you put them together, what would be the final result? It's going to be 0 because plus 10 minus 0, minus 10, they're enemies. They're going to fight and no one is going to win because both are equally powerful. So plus 10 minus 10 is 0. So 0y. 0y means no y's. All right, students. So this was our plan, right? We wanted to destroy y. We wanted to eliminate y from the process. And it got eliminated. It got destroyed. Y is no more. Our plan worked well. So well executed plan, well done. So what's remaining? Only x's remain. As we planned, y got eliminated. So 40x equals what? 1040. All right. So how do you find the value of x now? How would you find the value of x? X is equal to, let's ask the one multiplication 40 to go to the other side. So 40x means 40 times x. So when multiplication 40 goes other side, what does it become? It becomes division 40. All right. So what's the value of x now? What is 1040 divided by 40? You can cancel the zeros. 104 divided by 4. What would that give you? That would give us 26. So now we have found out x's value. Let's try to find out y's value. So you can plug in or you can substitute x equals 26 to any of the equations. So substituting x equals 26 in which equation are you going to substitute in? Shall we do it in first one, third one, or you can also substitute to the second one? Anything that is comfortable. What is easier? I feel second one is easier. So first, third, or the second. So shall we bring the second one? So what's the equation two? Equation two, what we had initially, that is x plus y equals 30. Now, why did I pick equation 2? Because that has the coefficients of the letters are small there. But not a must. Up to you. You can substitute to any of the equations, 1, 3, or 2, right? So what's x's value? 26 plus y equals 30. Then what's y is equal to 30? Addition 26 goes other side. It becomes minus 26. So y equals what? 30 minus 26, 4. All right, I don't have space to go downwards, so let me present the final answer side over here. So x equals 26, comma, y equals 4. You also can write in words what's x? Number of 50 rupee stamps. So number of rupees 50 stamps equals 26, and number of rupees 10 stamps equals 4. All right, I hope you all understood.